the dust has settled, and it appears that the National Sports Festival will go ahead as we all hoped it would. And that's sharing news coming in from Benin City, Edo State. Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us. I'm Yemi Adebayo. That's what will set the stone for the show tonight. We're looking at the National Sports Festival majorly, and of course some other things happening on the domestic scene, talking about women's football and also the Europa League. Of course, before we came on in, only the game involving Arsenal has not seen a goal. All other, fixtures in the quarterfinal, at least we've seen at least a goal. So we'll be monitoring that for you as well as we go on the show. The mild drama of the Sports Festival was going to be shut down. It wasn't going to be shut down. Got a lot of people talking, and I'm very sure you have a lot to say about all that went down. And so tonight, we're inviting you to have a conversation with us, talk to us, and this is how you can do just that, in case you're wondering how you can get your voice heard across the globe. Talk to us tonight. You can send us a mail. You can tweet at us. You can get across to us on Facebook. That's what you need to do. sportstonight@channelstv.com. Send us a mail. You can also drop your comments on Facebook, Channel 7 Sports. Then you can tweet at us at channels_sports. Let's know how you feel about all of the things happening in your exciting world of sports. Let me quickly introduce my partner in the Lagos studio. At some point, I'm going to be joined by my colleague Cecilia Morogwe, and hopefully Alfred Koligbe will come through as well. But for now, let me introduce Bolu Omoli. Bolu joins me this lovely Thursday evening. Bolu, greetings to you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good to be here again. A day after seeing some interesting football for the men. Now, today's for the boys. And like you rightly said, the good news to Sport Festival, despite just 24 hours ago, there were talks of by today, 12 noon, it will be cancelled, no more this and that. But it came up later, the sports minister. Now, some are saying it's just vibes, but whatever happens, whatever they are doing behind the scene, the Sport Festival is ongoing. We just want to end. So whatever they now decide to do afterwards, drag themselves to wherever. But the fact that they continue the festival, I think it's a plus for Nigeria sports. All
right, it is a plus for Nigeria. We can all agree. At this time yesterday, the news filtering in that talking about the host Edo State, that they might have to shut down the National Sports Festival because of failure of the federal government to meet with its commitment. Then in the morning, in the early hours of today, then again a press statement came out to say they were not aware of all of that, that the Sports Festival will go on. A series of meetings were held, and now all is good. Like they say, all is well that ends well. But let's take you through all that happened so you can have a good idea of the things happening behind the scenes. Let's start the show tonight. Let's allow you listen to the permanent secretary of the sports ministry talking about some of the things that transpired and what was done to ensure that the sports festival indeed goes ahead and do not come to an abrupt end.
This morning, the Honorable Minister met with His Excellency, the hard-working Governor of Edo State, on this news that we had and fully briefed him on the developments. The Presidency also called and spoke with His Excellency, the Governor, to confirm that the process of getting this financial assistance done is at the final stages. However, I want to put on record that the ministry is yet to receive a letter of conveyance from the necessary quarters on what the federal government is willing to offer the state government. And I believe shortly we'll get that, and once we get that, we'll convey to the state government. As the accounting officer of the ministry, if there was any fund released by the federal government for assistance to Edo State government, I should know. So far, none has been released. But with today's development and assurance from the presidency, you can take it to the bank that there will be assistance to the state government. And like I said earlier, we are working very closely together with the state government to support them.
All right, that happened this morning, and of course, at the moment that happened, the tempers were cooling, and we knew that there was going to be a reprieve. Let's also flip the coin and look at the other angle, the other side of the story. Let's quickly listen to what the Edo State government had to say, putting all of this into perspective, and the things that led to the continuation of the National Sports Festival.
The issues of stopping the games or postponing the game should be disregarded, especially following the intervention, the meeting held between His Excellency the State Governor, and the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, and further intervention from the Presidency to assure the State Government that they are not left alone. There will be an assistance, and it will be done in due course.
The MOC Secretariat is already functioning. It was temporarily shut down. It's open, and thank God that no game village or event areas was shut down before the Presidency and the Governor resolved the issues. So we are happy to announce that everything will go as planned, and let's enjoy the game and enjoy the hospitality of Edo.
If you were having doubts, I think that will clear your doubts, that everything will go ahead. Talks at a very highest level went down, and of course it was agreed. The National Sports Festival will go ahead, and the commitments and whatever needs to be done will be done. Even though all of the details we really do not need to know as far as the sports festival is going on. And I'm very sure Bolu is on the same page with me, and the Permanent Secretary was emphasizing that we should disregard any thoughts about the sports festival being postponed or being abandoned, coming to an abrupt end at any point because of the high-level talks that did go down.
I think the idea is they've not received money yet, or we've not given them money. Ali said if the money was gone, he will know, but they're assuring them we will. I think
get it.
To a level, you have to understand Edo State. Yeah, you have to understand where Edo State is. They are coming from the communications director. We should have gotten this money even before now. I remember one of the major reasons they postponed it earlier, I think in February, was there was no money. And the sport minister said it point blank that by April, when we'll be coming, as at then there was no dates. We only knew it was April. The federal government would have. A week ago, Edo still kept saying, okay, yes, but there's still no money.
No alert yet.
Then 7 days they had to come. Probably they had not said anything. Maybe the government has even forgotten. You know, this part of the world you hear agreeing is different from disbursement. That when you've approved, it's a different ball game. To disburse is another thing. So probably those things I've heard some snippets of it will release more. Okay, we've not received anything, but at least the good news is whatever shenanigan is going on behind the scene, the games will continue, and that's what we want to see. Sort yourself out politically or not. Sort yourself out off the field. But when it comes to the games itself, either the track, the field, the football games, the tennis, taekwondo, everything, the athletes are assured that at least for now. Immediately the news broke out yesterday, some guys were telling me I had friends, like 2 friends that were going to represent Lagos in boxing, and they wished to become pro. That this was supposed to be a big stage. He was already feeling bad and everything. Immediately I told him, okay, don't worry. The festival would continue. It was exciting. So everyone is monitoring. Even if you may have bias reason, maybe you have someone that's supporting, maybe you just want to cover, you just want the event to hold. Everyone wants to see this event, and I think it's a good news that at least, despite all the drama, the event has continued.
But do you agree with people that said everything that transpired, we're happy it's going on, but this was avoidable and this is a national embarrassment?
It was avoidable last year. Because immediately we postponed this thing, we knew this was coming. And the sad thing about this is, if things like this are happening maybe 20 or 5 years ago, you could understand. Now, you don't need to go anywhere to see. I saw this on different WhatsApp groups yesterday. And many of those WhatsApp groups, there are guys that don't even stay in Nigeria. And you know the way rumors fly. Someone may see that Edo State said we will stop the festival by 12. When a friend in the UK will tell a friend in America, he will add his own and everything. So everyone is reading this. So when you hear stories like this, those that don't even want anything good about Nigeria, they say it the way they want.
And they amplify it.
And they amplify, add their parts of the story. If the story says 12, they may add their own and say by 7 a.m. and also, we should have grown past this stage.
Avoidable.
We should have grown past it. Immediately we knew this was going to be April 2nd. Whatever fund, even if you are not paying them by then, there would have been a way to speak. You remember, I think it was it last week or 2 we were like, the silence could cause trouble. Now this is part of the trouble. If you had told them, okay, don't worry, we'll sort this out low-key, they would not come out to speak publicly. But since they were not hearing anything, they had to voice out. Thankfully, after voicing out, they got a good reply. I hope we will know when they pay the money. If not, let the sports festival end on the proposed date. Then you can decide to sort yourself out on your own.
All right, so we'll see. We'll be here to talk about all of that, and usually what we love to do here is to talk about the main actors, the athletes, the coaches, the people who make the stories for us to talk about. Usually all of the behind the scenes, it's not really the things we want to talk about, but as the issues came, it was unavoidable, it was grabbing the headlines, and we had to talk about it. But like I said, in my opening, I hope we will be able to say all is well that ends well. Hopefully we should be able to say that. All assurances given, and hopefully everything will go on as planned. Let's talk about the main actors. Let's talk about news from the National Sports Festival, talking about wins and medal tables and everything in between. All right, let's give you some tidbits from the National Sports Festival. Let's give you news happening. We put together some information that we could get about what's going on, and there you have it. Bolu, I'll run through some of this, and I also know you have a couple of stories. You told me one that I find very amusing. We'll talk about that as we move on. African champion Sisak Etin of Rivers State edges past former world champion Wellington Jigere of Delta State to win gold in the Scrabble Masters men's singles. Now that's remarkable. You also have Delta State's Chuoyo Mayuku that beats Success Sule to win gold in Scrabble Masters women's singles. Other stories: Imo State's John Odok wins gold in Scrabble intermediate singles, while God's Favor Whiskey of Delta claims gold in the Opens singles. How about that interesting stories about darts, 701 category, Edo State clinches gold in women's cycling team time trial. Bayelsa State clinches gold medal in men's cycling team time trial. Kano State also won gold in men's rugby sevens. I mean, the events coming in thick and fast. That was why a lot of us were apprehensive yesterday when the World was up, because today was a crucial day. A lot of those events were going to happen. The track and field event that everybody is waiting for actually starts tomorrow. And some top stars are already in the country that will grace the National Sports Festival. But we have one or two stories. You told me about one that a lot of people need to hear. Scary in a way, remarkable in another way.
It's okay. First of all, basketball started, I think, yesterday for the games. Interesting. That's how I pity some. For example, talk about the track, the athletics, where everyone's. Imagine it has closed. That means we'll have a festival without the athletics. It would definitely not be complete. Really sad. And Delta were excited after the likes of Blessing or Kagba. Dudu said they wouldn't make it due to prep. Some of their top athletes said they would join in. So they did not say cancel. Thankfully, now they're even topping the medal table without some of their top stars competing yet. But the story that hits the headlines this week is certain Aminat Idris, a woman, won gold medal in Taekwondo Pomsi mixed double, that's in male and female. Then she won silver in female, alone female team. Then she won bronze for herself. But that's not the story. The story is she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And the story is not that she was pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant.
Wow.
She represented Lagos. So the question is, first of all, how did her husband even allow her to go for that event? Secondly, how did Lagos State government, because she represented Lagos, so the Lagos State Sports Commission, how did the LOC allowed? How did the MOC, that's the main organizing committee. So she went through all these processes.
All those hoops.
And she got through. Yes, she won. That's the celebration, but God forbid, it could have been worse.
Yes.
I don't know how possible. I saw the video, you could, and unfortunately we could hear crowd screaming, shouting and everything, but I was saying to myself, baby, don't drop. Don't just fall. Yeah, people tell you she didn't fight anyone. Her own competition is not fighting or anything.
Not
But it is
demonstration.
part of taekwondo. It is demonstration. When she jumped and lifted her leg, something could have. I think it's wrong. Very, very wrong. I remember Serena was probably a few weeks pregnant when she won, and everyone wanted to wreck her down. She was this. Then imagine Serena going to a tournament with 8. You shouldn't be doing anything stressful when you're 8 months pregnant. But thankfully, nothing happened at the end of everything. But I like that after your person.
Yeah, that's why I said it was a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Remarkable on one hand, scary
on the
other.
I was seeing the video and I was just looking. Okay, when she okay, thank God she's fine. Thank God she's fine. So I should enjoy an athlete performing. I shouldn't be scared for an athlete that hope this doesn't
Health
go
and
wrong.
safety should come first. Let's give you some pictures from what's going on. Let's just show you some clips from swimming where Delta won swimming 800 meters freestyle gold. That's where you have, one of the things I like about this event, the organizers have told us that what you see here is as good as what you see anywhere. And you're looking at the pictures. I'm happy to see that these facilities are in tip-top shape.
Remember before the event, they said the point blank that it's Olympic standard. So that's what they are playing on. And fortunately, it looks like, looking at the clips, looking at the pool, if you remember what the Olympic pool looks like, the only difference is you'll probably see the sponsor's brand in the water. But nobody cares about the sponsor. It is the pitch, the court, the pool that matters. And from what we've seen thus far, it's interesting. I have some colleagues there covering the events, and what they are telling is what these guys have is what most of them will see if they qualify for the Olympic Games. It means you are not used to a pool of maybe 10 meters, then you go to the Olympics and see 50 meters, then you are scared. This is different. Everything you are seeing here is what you are meant to see at the Olympics. So it's even a good prep for those of them that have already qualified and those that will qualify. Who knows? Well, I'm not sure we can win swimming, but who knows? It's about preparing. I tell people in final events, anything can go wrong. Anything can happen. We saw an athletics where Usain Bolt of all athletes had the wrong start, foul, and it was disqualified, and someone else was. So there's nothing wrong in hoping some persons fail at the Olympic Games for Nigeria.
And it's no surprise that Team Nigeria will be in Edo State. That's where they're going to. And they're going to use.
They'll prep to train.
They're going to use all of these facilities. Let's talk about combat sports for a little while and go and talk about what happened in kickboxing. Kickboxing, very interesting sports. Sometimes a lot of people are afraid to watch it, but it's sports all the way. If you can watch boxing, then you can watch kickboxing. I want you to enjoy this. And there was a mild drama after this. One athlete felt he should have won, but let's enjoy what you have on screen. Unfortunately for me, I don't know how the judges score this, so it's hard for me to say I think this person won. But it's good that we're having these events, we're having these pictures, and hopefully some of these athletes will be able to represent Nigeria on a very higher level.
I think to a level, UFC has made some Nigerians fall in love with kickboxing. It's similar, though that one is very brutal. But I think more like boxing in Olympic Games, they go for more points. They are not expected to knock anyone out. Just go for points. If you are picking out the faces, the point to the face is definitely different from the body. It is harder to hit the face than the body. It is more points. There are people judging. You may feel you won. Except for football or basketball where you are counting the points. If it's someone judging what you are seeing, you may think you hit someone and the punch probably did not touch the person.
See that way.
And you felt like, oh, my punch was hard and it's a lie. So there are people who are professionally trained to count whatever matters. If your glove touched the canvas, that's another point against you and everything. So there are ways to count the point. You may think you've won. It's like sometimes even in the same football we talked about, the ball may hit your hand and you will argue it did not. I used to think players exaggerate till it happened to me myself. Everybody said he hit. I said no until I saw the clip myself. Oh, okay. So it happens. You may feel you've won. But people that are the judges, people that are paid to judge, people that's their job, they tell you lost. You have no choice. You just have to go back to your drawing board and train and prepare better for the next event.
Okay. All right. And the fans were enjoying themselves as well. All right. So let's just take some reactions from this. Then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Pikin will grow and pass his father. That was what you guys just saw now. Because he was my father. He's my father in the game, but I've come now to overthrow him in the weight category. Me winning the gold medal in the minor 67 low-key category, that does not mean that I will just go home and sit back and relax. No, I have to work hard to continue with my training so that I can be able to defend it when next we meet. I'm hoping for the next Olympic. My dream is not to end here. I'm aiming higher.
Patriot, this is not even a close fight, neither is a tiny or a speed decision. I won the fight. It was a total animal decision for the 3 corner judges given to me. I am the professional kickboxer. I know the point where there is a score. I am not just competing for the state. I am a 2 times All-African Gate champion. For 10 years now, I've been rolling that weight without not even defeat. I won the fight. I know. You can even see the reaction from the audience, for the viewers, and with that, I believe you can convince that this really it was a cheating or it was a mistake on their side. I have protest. I believe the mistake will be visited. They will change the score. Yes, I'm fully much aware. This is not a doubt. I am a winner and I remain a winner. I'm being the weight for the past 12 years. I remain there.
All right, very easy there. Of course, the kickboxer from Delta, that's Uche Onyeka, won. He celebrated winning, but his opponent, who's been the champion in that weight, feels justice was not done. He won that fight, and of course, he has appealed. I don't know if it can be overturned, but like Bello explained, sometimes you think you want to fight. Judges know better, and you're not seeing what's on their scorecard. But we'll monitor this. If it turns out that the result is overturned, we'll come back to say it. But even from the pictures, he clearly wasn't happy with the outcome.
Immediately after the fight, you could see he was shocked that he lost the fight. But again, well, maybe you want to look at it again. Sometimes there are some people in code, they call sore losers, and they be like, oh, why did this boy be? But he said he's been the weight category champ for 12 years. 12 years, if you can rule a category for 12 years, you've done enough. Some persons don't rule for 2 years. Yeah. You will lose someday. Except you decide to retire before losing. But we've seen Israel Adesanya moved up.
But I guess the difference here is he believes he didn't
lose. But again, sometimes beating may make you sometimes think you won. But again, let's see if they will review. But I don't think so. I like that the winner is not Edo State. Because if the winner was from Edo State, there could be conspiracy, maybe because he's the home fan and everything, that's why he won. But the loser is from Edo State, the winner is from Delta. But let's see if the LOC may decide to revisit the fight again. But the judges, let me say, they are supposed to be professionals. So if they make a judgment, I think we just have to agree with what they say.
All right, we have to live with it and accept what they have done. All right, let's just listen to the sports commissioner of Cross River State. She was at the games. She'd seen some of the events, and she had 1 or 2 things to say. Our own Cecilia Moore, we caught up with her, and she made some comments talking about the organizers and what our state has come to the sports festival to do.
I feel honored, I feel so excited, I feel blessed among the men because as it stands in the commission, I'm the only female and the first female commissioner in the sports commission. So I feel blessed at that level. And then for my team, I think we have done our best, to make sure we motivate them and they come out with the expected results. From the look of things, though it's not easy, in every game there must be a winner. There must be a loser. But I'm not saying we are losers, so God forbid. We are not part of losers. Losing doesn't flow in our veins. So our athletes are actually trying, but just that we've not gotten a gold medal. But I'm certain that before the end of this whole thing, we'll show records gold medals. For this trip, I would say we have actually done our best. We have motivated them, and none of them will complain. If any of them complain, then maybe it's their coach. But from us, we have all done all we needed to do, and they are happy with everything.
All right, a woman among men, confirming to us she feels privileged to be there. Only woman among a lot of the commissioners, sports commissioners there,
And a young woman.
At that, and
Because
she
she
also,
was commissioner for youth and sports, and we have a youth, and the fact that she's a woman is a win, I think, for the state. We've seen
that's a perfect
some
fit.
ministers or commissioners for youth, and you ask yourself, are you commissioner for what? So this is what we want to say. I think I remember when something similar happened in Oyo State, and people were like, how will you choose a boy that just finished NYC, blah, blah. This is what we should see. Someone represent. If a 50-year-old man says, I'm a youth, I'm active, it's not the same thing. You may be youthful. You are not a youth, you are old.
Oh,
so
that's
if
true.
you see a young person leading the youth, you understand us more. You can't compare. She definitely would understand what is happening now. The new
Understand all
media.
the issues.
You can't expect a 50-year-old man. What they experience as a 20, 30-year-old is not the same thing as what we are experiencing. So
currently going
I think I like what they did. And the fact that she said it with pride, I'm the only female commissioner. I hope other states, I'm not saying every other state should go on going for women. Or no, if you are choosing your commissioner, let us see young persons representing the youth. That's another win for Cross River. Like you said, well, God forbid, that everyone is there to win. But your preparation and the luck you have on the day will definitely determine if you get the gold or not.
All right, let's end everything tonight with the Sports Festival by taking a look at the medal table, and let's see what's happening. Delta, I mean, no surprise when you see Delta on top of any national sports festival, you're not surprised. So this is what we have. A lot of teams, a lot of states have won medals, but this is what we're giving you, top 5. Tomorrow is going to be more than this, but as at the end of events today, this is what you have. Delta State leading the pack, 20 gold medals, 15 silver, and 10 bronze, totally 45 medals. Closely followed by Bayelsa, 18 gold, 6 silver, 9 bronze medals, with a total of 33. Edo State, the host, they have 14, 16, 16. That's 36, 14 gold. Go to River State in 4th position, 4 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals. And in 5th position, Kwara State, 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal, 1 bronze medal, everything totaling 3. At the end of tomorrow, at the end of events tomorrow, which states do you think will creep in to the top 5? I have a feeling you'll say Lagos.
I have to say Lagos. I hope Lagos gets there. But like you rightly said, no surprise it's Delta. Their plan is to defend.
Yeah.
And they'll be planning well, despite the fact that some of their top athletes, top stars are not around for this event, but they are still
And some of them
planning
are being poached by other states.
So, well, that's one of the things about festival. Probably the richer, okay, yeah, you get paid more and everything, but that's the fun, that's the beauty. If you can, it is competition we want. We don't want Delta to win this one. Let someone else come up. The next event, let Lagos State win for 2021. And that is the beauty of competition. Let different teams, different states champion everything. But hopefully by tomorrow, for whatever reason, maybe Lagos may creep into it. I think they are tied with Kwara for now because Aminat Idris, she won 3 bronze, silver medals. So who knows, by tomorrow they could have won more. And maybe send Kwara down the medal table.
Okay. All right. So let's move on the show tonight. We're done with the National Sports Festival. But if there's anything to tell you, we will revert. All right. Let's move on now. Let's go global now and talk about the Olympics. And just inform you that officially it's 105 days to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. 2020 to be held in 2021. I always like to emphasize that because a lot of people keep asking, why are you guys still say 2020? I had to educate my son. My son says, don't you guys have calendar? It's 2021. I had to tell him it's still 2020, even though it's going to be held in 2021. So 105 days, and hopefully we're not going to see any postponement or any cancellation.
That's just over 3 months from now. Like really, so hopefully we'll get there. Similar to the Euros as well. It's happening here, but it's still Euros 2020. I think the reason they are not changing the name is for the tradition to continue. Remember, it happens every 4 years. If they make it 21, that's changed the name. Even if you check Wikipedia, check everywhere, it's still 2020. But again, as of now, 105 days to go, there's no talk of cancelling, there's no stop of ending. I think everyone just wants to have this event. I like the push, I like the confidence from both the country, that's Japan, and for the IOC. We will have the Olympic Games this year.
All right. And that's the touch relay. Of course, he has completed a 2-day tour in the Mai Prefecture, and the flame has arrived in the city of Kumano this evening. And of course, it will still go to 47 other perfections before it gets back to Tokyo. You know, a lot of things, the host trying to do a lot of things, health and safety being placed above all of those things. But I like the way they are going about it. They are dealing with the issues head on.
Before now, the torch relay sees almost the same number or amount of crowd as the event itself. You see crowd on the streets and everywhere. But even the citizens who don't even want the event, I'm definitely sure they won't be the ones on the streets and everything. But they are seeing it on TV. No matter what you would say, they like the fact that their country is in the media now. You can't check 10 sports stories now without seeing the Olympic Games. And you can't mention the Olympics, you have to mention Tokyo. And when you're talking about Tokyo, you are definitely calling Japan as a country. So I think I like that. I like the confidence. I love the attention it's getting. Now everyone is focused on, oh, okay. I think it's now coming to reality now that the Olympic Games for 2020 and 2021 will hold. So let's leave all the negativities aside. Let's put aside, fine, one or two countries have stepped out. You're stepping out is a win for another country. Imagine US pulling out of the Olympic Games. It means you are sure basketball is going to another country. So I think it's, despite one or two negative stories coming out, the positives from it is definitely overshadowing the negatives. You
know, a lot of people might disagree with what I'm about to say. Sometimes, even the Japanese people will not like to hear me say this. I'm happy it's Japan. If there's any country in this world that have dealt with natural disasters, that have dealt with problems you can't even imagine, and have come out of it shining, it's Japan. And that's why when all of this happened, and it's Japan, and even problems they don't even know will happen, first they had to deal with inflation, first they had to deal with the budget ×5 of what they bidded for, and all of those issues kept dealing with it. Then COVID burst onto the scene. Now they're doing the torch relay, trying to reduce the number of people that line up the streets. Like you said, I'm very happy, and at the end of the day, I'm very sure they would deploy technology and do all of those things. And I mean, kudos to the Japanese people. They have said, we're going to do this, and if you postpone it, count us out. Let's do it this year, whichever way we can, and let's move on. All right, so that's it for the Olympics. Let's come home now and spend a few more minutes to talk about what's going on in the Nigeria Women's Premier, Nigeria Women Football League Premiership. Let me situate it properly. And we did it yesterday, but let's do it again. Match day 13. Let's take a look at the results. Bolu will tell us the stories behind some of those results. And, of course, what has happened. We now have a situation where we're going to have a playoff. And to decide who wins this, because we have to submit a name to CAF for the CAF, inaugural CAF Women's League. Then, of course, the other 8 teams will also play to determine the 2 teams that drop off. Bobolu, Ibom Angels defeated FC Robo Queens 3-1. Osun Babes defeated Abia Angels 2-0. Pelican Stars defeated Edo Queens 2-1. Royal Queens lost to Delta Queens by a lone goal. All of this match day 13 results. Some other results on match day 13. You have Dream Star Ladies playing a 1-0 draw with Confluence Queens. Rivers Angels defeated Bayelsa Queens 1-0. Then you have Sunshine Queens defeating Nazareth Amazons 3-0. So those are the results. But a quick one on the results. Then we talk about the 6 teams in the Super 6 and the bottom 8.
I think if the league was not ending today, the game we've been talking about for a very long time is Rivers Angels versus Bayelsa Queens. Yes, at the time it came, even with the win, Rivers would still not have gone to, but at least they would have closed the gap between them. Then I think another big result was Robo Queens losing 3-1 to Ibom Angels. That was huge. Then Sunshine Queens, that 3-0 is the reason they are in the top 6. Because if Confluence had won or they didn't win their game, they could have missed out and everything. But it showed everybody knew what they needed to do on that final day. You know, this was the last straw for you. And the sad part is, you may finish 7th and still get relegated now with the new format.
Get dragged down to that bottom.
Now it's similar to what they do in the Scottish League. Top 6 play another, not a new league. That's why in the Scottish League sometimes you see teams that finish outside the top 10. The team that finish 11th get more points than the team that finish maybe 7th or 8th. But it is what it is. You had the chance to have made the top 6. But the only issue I have with this is we knew the dates before now. I'm sure it was not last week or Monday when they had their meeting. They knew the date for submission, and they already knew when they would end the league, especially after they postponed for a month. Then they could have agreed before now. They could have made this agreement not 2 days to the final half. But again, I like that they all agreed, despite emergency and everything. I think they could have said this like a month, 2 months ago, that okay, we'll end it after match day 13 when they played half of the games and all. But
I agree with you.
They all agreed.
I like the fact that they agreed. No dissenting voices came together, agreed, and everybody's moving on.
But there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's to call it word. They are saying the submission has to be done by May. But Ghana, they chose their representative and said they had to submit by March 31st or March 30th. I hope it's not the same thing with us.
All right, these are the 6 teams: Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Rivers Angels, Edo Queens, FC Robo Queens, and Sunshine Queens. All of them are Queens. Okay, all right. So this is the format: Super 6. How it's going to be played? Match day 1 on Monday, April 19th. You know, and it follows till you have match day 5. At the end of all of this, all the teams would have played each other at least once. I mean, as a matter of fact, they'll play each other once. So each of them will play 5 matches. And what you have on your screen, the eventual winner based on total points amassed will be crowned champions and become Nigeria's representatives in the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League.
And with the way things are now, Rivers Angels, who have been promised heaven and earth, who believe, well, we will have the chance here. Now, the only worry I just have with this is similar to what they did for the Super 6 for MPFL, the rush. No rest, play today, play tomorrow. You shouldn't play games except, I think,
probably won't
72
produce
hours
your
apart.
best.
You would definitely not give your best. Even a day rest, that means they're playing 5 games in the space of 6 or 7 days. That's a rush. But again, everyone knows what has to be done. You just have to. You have an option of maybe withdrawing, but looking at the Champions League, it seems like maybe Sunshine Queens will feel we didn't have a chance before. But now they know we just have to pick up the necessary points among the 5 games we play. And who knows? Now you can say Bayelsa Queens and Rivers Angels are still favorites and maybe bringing FC Robo behind them. But now you are not playing 26 games. You are playing just 5. And the 5 may determine your fate. So who knows? Now it's harder to predict until maybe after 2-3 games, you can now decide, it's okay, maybe this are fair. But for now, everyone knows they're all going to be on the level playing field. Give your best. Maybe because Robo is there, they are not playing in Lagos. Now they're going to Djibouti. Nobody's at home. You are all playing on neutral ground. So you have to give your best if you want to represent Nigeria for the Champions League.
All right, everybody still in with a chance of moving ahead. All right, let's, as we hit the home stretch, let's take a look at what is happening right about now in the UEFA Europa League. Let's give you live results. Will be your eyes and your ears if you're not watching. Let's just give you the results as it is. Most of the matches are in the dying moments. You're looking at 88. As a matter of fact, Arsenal has just scored. Arsenal has just scored a goal in the 86th minute. Every other result is the way it is. Ajax Amsterdam and AS Roma is 1 apiece. Dinamo Zagreb and Villarreal. Villarreal are ahead courtesy of an own goal. Then Granada and Manchester United. Marcus Rashford scored for Manchester United. But Bolu quickly reminded me that Granada had a huge chunk of possession, but Manchester United have the goal. So, like I said, just when it looked like there wasn't going to be any goal at the Emirates, Arsenal have been able to put 1 goal past their opponents, and it's going to be interesting to see whether it's going to end that way. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll give you updates from the UEFA Europa League, also talk about what went down last night in the UEFA Champions League. All right, welcome back, and let's quickly talk about Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did not start. I'm trying to understand what's going on in Mikel Arteta's mind. The guy from Norway wasn't even in the squad as well. But Arsenal have done themselves a whole lot of good by getting that goal. Okay, it was Pepe that scored.
Forgotten man.
Yeah.
I guess they'll pay another installment after the goal today. It's been much maligned, everything, every possible word for Pepe. I think the difference is Pepe plays well for his level. but people think more of the price tag.
Yes.
That's where everyone hits at
If
him
you can
and
just
everything.
forget about the price tag.
And watch the guy play for his level. You hear talks like they were downloading Mahrez and they probably stopped at 30% and everything. But I think what Arteta is doing is nobody's sure of a starting shirt in that squad. Remember when everybody thought they were playing their best game, I think against Leicester, he decided to rest both Saka and Aubameyang. So now it's open to anyone. Give your best today, you get to play. And now Lacazette's consistent scoring has earned him another starting shirt today. So it's not sure for anybody. The United game, yes, they've been under pressure almost all night, but in football, it is who scores that win. No matter how much you play, if you can have 90% possession. If you don't get a goal, you've not won the
Counts
game.
for nothing.
And for the Ajax match, they could have gone 2-0 up. Tajid missed the penalty. Then about 3 minutes later, they considered the goal. Every second, everything you do now, especially from the quarterfinals, people that have not followed Europa League till now, everyone now monitors from the quarterfinals. Oh, okay, now let's see. Now they're on the same level with the Champions League. Quarterfinals, you give your best because you can see the trophy now. You know you need to win just this game and win
that
more.
miss has come back to bite Ajax because AS Roma, we'll give you a confirmation of that. AS Roma has scored a second goal and now it's 2-1 in favor of AS Roma. Just when you thought Ajax were running away with it, now they've conceded at the Amsterdam Arena.
And when you concede 2 goals at home, yes, if you win away from home, you can still qualify, but it's always difficult. It plays in the mind.
Yes.
Knowing, okay, if we lost at home, how do we go? And for the away team, you know, winning at home, you win away from home, all you just need to do, you have to just sit back, let them do all the possession and pick them on the break and win. And that is even harder for the team that hold possession because sometimes when teams play 9-1-0, you have to probably have the passes of De Bruyne plus Toni Kroos combined
all of them
to penetrate them. But let's see what happens. I think Ajax now, they are in a big of trouble because they have to, even if they win this game 3-2, 1-0 they've lost, 2-1 they've lost. They have to now find a way to maybe start scoring the away goals and everything. But I think it's good one for Roma. If they had scored the penalty, maybe it could have been a different ball game. But here, United running away with the result and same for Roma. So poor result for Ajax at the end of 90 minutes. But we never can tell. It's still 2 minutes, and 2 minutes in football. And
It's a very long time. I mean, plus there's going to be injury time.
Lewandowski scored 5 in 9 minutes, so anything is possible.
Let's go to the UEFA Champions League quickly, and so that by the time we're done with the UEFA Champions League, we'll finish this up here with. By that time, the games in the Europa League would have finished. We'll be able to talk about all of that. Let's take a look at the results of last night's matches and 2 matches played, really. Let's just talk about it. Let's start with Bayern. Were you surprised? I think I was listening to some of your comments. Was it this morning? I can't remember. It looked too easy for PSG. Some of those goals were things Manuel Neuer will stop in his sleep.
Especially the first goal. I tell people that when people rate, especially Alaba, I tell people Alaba is a brilliant left back.
Not
but
the
he's
centre
a
back.
below average centre back. People will tell you he's been doing it for Bayern. It's because sometimes when the team are always possessing the ball, it's difficult for it to even have time for their defense. And yesterday you could see was all
when the
about the
pressure
place
comes.
everywhere. And some person are saying maybe because Lewandowski didn't play. Yes, they had more than enough attempts. But if you watch the Champions League final last season, PSG could have won the game 3-4. Good chances to have scored, but they missed. But the difference between now and yesterday's game was they scored. They had just 5 shots on target yesterday and they scored 3 goals. Mbappe was in the form of his life. Neymar didn't overdo. Look at the assist for the second goal for Marquinhos. Everyone thought probably they will. He just sent in the low ball. Marquinhos beat the offside flag and they got the goal. And the second Kylian Mbappe stepped up. People will tell you he plays in the Farmers League this and I tell Farmers League or not. If you are scoring goals in any league, it means to a level you are good enough. And checking his Champions League, he has the hand in 42 goals in 43 games in the Champions League. It means that boy has something. Now, he's probably his offer has increased by maybe 5 or 10 million. Because now if Madrid were to pay 5 million before, I'm sure it would have increased to about 10 million. You have to just give it to Kylian Mbappe. Now Bayern Munich will have to win. And not just win, they have to win by 2-goal margin. Or else, PSG looking
all right, I'll talk about Chelsea and Porto quickly because we have just about a minute to end. He also
Similar
didn't break his sweat.
Similar to what United are doing today. Porto did all the possession. The first half they had about 9 corner kicks and all. But Chelsea just had a chance, scored the first goal. Second half, Porto again putting on the position and everything. Chelsea had another chance, got the second goal. Yes, you could say poor defensive control from a certain Jesus Corona. But unfortunately for him, Chelsea got to score the second goal. And now they have to win 3-2, 3-1 or 4-2 to qualify. And against Chelsea at the bridge, it's almost impossible.
Arsenal can't seem to surprise anybody anymore. They've conceded a goal, the dying moments of the game, and it's 1-1 at the Emirates. It's 1-1 in injury time. Manchester United have a penalty, but of course, I'm not sure we're going to be here to talk about what happens after the penalty. But like I said, Arsenal never surprising anybody. Conceded a goal. So that's it. That's the situational report. But that's how we have to wrap things up. Talking about the Europa League. First, I need to thank Bolo Money for, as a matter of fact, United have scored. So that's 2. Let me sneak that one in. Bolo Money, I want to thank you for your time on the show today.
Yeah, it's really good to you. And it's good to mention Ronaldo scored his 25th league goal yesterday. Now he has got at least 25 league goals in 12 consecutive seasons.
All right.
That's magical.
What a player. What a player. All right. That's how we cross the finish line on the show. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything. We're back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.